What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of My Summer Car. Once again, if you guys are enjoying the series, make sure you leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we only just got the Satsuma fully inspected, so we are ready to rock. It's actually parked out here, but we have faced so many difficult challenges, so many setbacks in the series thus far. It feels so good to finally be on the right track. Since it is still dark out this morning, it's just really early morning. The first thing we're gonna do is pull the Satsuma in the garage because your boy's got a couple of projects. Dude, this is so incredibly difficult to see anything that's going on. Let's see, where's the choke at? Should be right around there. Make sure that's fully pulled out. Now we can start her up. Hopefully. Come on, baby. Give her a little gas. There we go. Something I actually did off camera is made it so we can drive the Satsuma in any vehicle for that matter with an Xbox controller or PlayStation controller, whatever you got. So driving this now should be set up similarly to like Forza or Gran Turismo, games like that. The only downside is we still do have to sort of use our mouse for in-car type things. Like, for instance, putting down the handbrake. Gotta do that. Right mouse button. There we go. Okay, now we'll rev her up. We're in first gear and dump her. Look at that, dude. Making our way right into the garage. We can clutch in a lot easier now. It's still just as squirrely, don't get me wrong. There we go. All right, I'd say that's... let's pull up a little bit more. We're gonna be doing some engine work. Ooh. Okay, we're good. We're good. Turn off the ignition. And let's go ahead and depress the choke again, because we won't be needing that for a while. All right, perfect. Now we can leave our controller behind, switch back to keyboard and mouse. Oh, wait, we gotta pop the hood. I gotta inform you guys on what we're doing today. I haven't even done that yet. So, in order for us to do the things that we did in the previous episode, which is honestly just get the vehicle inspected, I had to go through the save file for the game and edit a whole plethora of things, basically making it so our car wasn't super smooshed. But while I was doing that, I did notice a couple of things that are wrong with the Satsuma. Not necessarily wrong, but going to fail eventually. So I think it's probably high time we replace those things. Just to help us along here, I had to create a little list. So first and first mostly, I want to paint the block. I want to paint the engine block black. Someone told me we can do that in car, so I think that's the first thing we're going to try. Then we need to replace the crankshaft, the head gasket, the fuel pump, and the water pump. All those things are sitting at about 10% of their life left. And then after we replace all those things, the last thing I think we should probably do is check out the distributor timing, because we didn't look at that yet. It's the last thing now on the list for timing, and from what I saw, it looked pretty bad. First up, the block painting. I really hope this is as easy as a lot of people have told me it is. So we're just gonna lean in here, focus on what looks to be the block, the lighter blue bit down there. And then if we just hold our little spray can here, theoretically, oh my god, it worked. Look at that, dude. We have basically a brand new looking engine block now. That's just fan-freaking-tastic. Okay, sweet. I have got to trust the comment section just a little bit more. Another thing that people only recently informed me on is the fact that the car battery charger is specifically designed to kill your batteries. So I don't think we're going to be needing this anymore, thankfully, but that would have been nice to know like in episode 2 or 3 or a long time ago. One of the more difficult items that we're going to have to replace here is going to be the crankshaft. So to do that, we're first going to let down the handbrake so we can push this thing back. We're just a little bit too far forward over the pit here. So if we use J, crouch down just slightly, there we go. That's actually a perfect placement right there. Then we'll come back in the cab, rip the e-brake again so it doesn't go anywhere. I'm kind of hoping that this is going to be pretty straightforward, but I really don't know for sure. Let's get a size 7 ratchet. We'll see how easy it is to take off that oil pan. I'm just hoping that we can somehow squeeze the crankshaft out from underneath the engine, even though like the subframe and the transmission are all still fully installed. All right, there we go. And thankfully, someone else informed me of how to properly use the ratchet. You have to go up and down with the scroll wheel to make it go faster than the spanner. I didn't actually realize that, and I probably never would have if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you guys so much for all the helpful tips and tricks in the comments. I do appreciate it. Where is this last bolt? If I'm being honest, in my head, this seemed very, very easy, but now it's very clearly not going to work.
Many minutes later.
It has come to this. It has finally come to this. We actually just have to pull the entire engine, which I'm not super happy about, particularly, and maybe we don't actually have to pull the whole engine. I just feel like that's probably the safest thing to do at this point. Well, let's back her on up, just so we have a little bit easier access to everything, and there we go. But we are thirsty, so I'm gonna head inside quick. Back in action, dude. Let's get this thing off of here. So I thought I got most, if not all, of the bolts for the oil pan, but as you can see, the transmission does slide just underneath the oil pan, so we would have really never been able to get it all the way out. Thankfully, it looks like everything that once touched the engine just gets left behind, so we shouldn't have to do that much in the way of repairing. There we go. Okay, it looks like we can at least remove the transmission now, so let's go ahead and knock that thing down. Now we can remove the oil pan. Yes, that did still have a bunch of oil in it, but the game thankfully doesn't care, so we'll just move that over to the side, and now we finally have access to everything that's underneath, or as the people say in the biz, the bottom end. But we gotta lower this thing down just a tad so we can see what we're doing a little bit easier. Our next step is gonna be removing the alternator belt. So to do that, we unfortunately have to unscrew the alternator and then take the tension off of it. Now we can remove the alternator belt. And with that done, we just need a size 11 socket. We're gonna take the crankshaft pulley off now. Then we have to remove the water pump pulley itself because all we have to replace is the water pump. I don't know if the pulley comes with it or not, but nonetheless, it's gotta come off. The water pump itself, I believe, is embedded into this housing here, so we just have to undo a couple of nuts and bolts. There we go, unbolt that. I love how your parts just fall on the ground every single time. Like, they're not gonna take any damage from that, but they could. Having dropped the water pump, that's gonna give us access to the timing cover right here. Again, just a few more bolts. The only reason we have to remove this is because the timing chains actually do wrap around the crankshaft. Go figure. So we'll pop that off. And now as for our timing chain, we should be able to just remove that. Hopefully everything stays in check, but we know how to align that now. And with all of that removed, now we're able to actually dismount the pistons from the crankshaft, and then we're gonna have to come remove the flywheel and the clutch and all that off of this side so we can eventually remove the crankshaft. This is a big job. I don't know why I thought this was gonna be so simple. Good news is it's daytime, so hopefully we'll be able to run to Fleetari and order these things up lickety-split. All right, clutch and flywheel are removed, and I've already loosened all of the bolts from each piston. Doesn't look like we can take that out unless we have to remove the plate to remove the crank. No, okay, so we have to separate the head from the rest of the block. It's a good thing we have to get a head gasket as well, otherwise this would just not be worth it. Unsurprisingly, after what I was hoping was going to be a very successful teardown, it would appear that the pistons won't come out of the block. I'm about to reference the wiki just to make sure that I'm doing everything correctly here, but you can see we have the rod caps totally unscrewed, unfastened for these things, and they're still not budging. Actually, you know what? I remember there being a bolt in there as well. Can we remove the bolt? No, bolt not removable. Okay, time to check wiki. This doesn't make any sense. But all I'm doing right now is picking it up from around where the pistons are located and then rotating it and uninstalling them. Didn't say anything about this in the wiki. It honestly, all it says is each piston is attached with 2 7mm bolts. But there we go. We can just knock out all the pistons like that, I guess. So now that we have everything stripped down, the last piece of the puzzle is removing the crankshaft. Now, let's go ahead and head out to Fleetari on the Joe Bro, and we'll try to pick up all these parts. Mr. Fleetari, sir, are you home? Hey, buddy. Just the guy I wanted to see. So we don't need to purchase all of these parts, just most of them. First up, we got the crankshaft. Gonna need that. Then next, we have the head gasket, then the water pump. Looks like the water pump pulley doesn't necessarily need to be replaced, but we need the water pump itself. The fuel pump as well. And I think that was everything, right? Crankshaft, head gasket, fuel pump, water pump. That's what I have on my list, so that's what we're getting. And then I think everything else is cool. We've already replaced both the alternator and the starter. You guys may remember that from a couple episodes back. If not, if you're completely clueless, make sure you check out the link in the description for the series playlist. Catch up on any previous episode that you might have missed. So, Mr. Fleetari, wow, that is a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. Hop it a little more.
All right, $1,900. Let's go ahead and just headbutt the cash register so we can pay the man. There we go. All right, and all of our parts are now just sitting over here on the counter. So we're going to put all 4 of those in our backpack, and we are on our way. God bless your soul, Mr. Fleetari. You are an absolute lifesaver. Sometimes. When you're closed, not so much. And just like that, we're back at home. Also, I kind of forgot to mention something in the previous episode. You know, when cargo smoosh, I had to do a little bit of save game editing like I mentioned, and for whatever reason, I accidentally gave myself every single one of the tire racks that I'm pretty sure we just have to find naturally on our own out in the wild, in the wilderness. So that, I mean, that's cool. We got some tire racks, even though we have no use for them right now because we only have 1 set of wheels. It could be pretty handy when we end up getting, you know, rally wheels and stuff like that. So back from the shop, dude, let's put down all of our new parts. So we have fuel pump, head gasket, water pump, and then crankshaft. And now we just get to do everything we already did in reverse order. Holy cow, dude. That is no freaking joke. I will say, I don't think this took nearly as long as... Actually, I know this didn't take nearly as long as the first time we assembled this engine. So I'm just a little proud. You know, I'm a little proud of us. Now, the real question is, will it actually start? Okay, we do have power. That's good, right? Power's a good thing. Let's pull the choke out quick. Start her up. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Little gas. Little gas. There she is. All right. No surprise here. Sounds pretty bad. So let's get our handy dandy screwdriver. And then we're going to come in here, loosen this bolt up a couple of times. There we go. And now we can adjust our alternator. Perfect. We just had to move it ever so slightly. Just the tiniest bit. And now everything's good. Everything's cool and stuff. However, we do still have to adjust the timing for the distributor, so I think we should probably focus on that next. We're gonna have to crouch down quite a bit here. Kind of the same way we adjust the alternator is what we have to do to this. So we're gonna back this screw out all the way. Part of me thinks that we might have killed the engine. Let's try to start her back up. It seems like we don't maybe want to remove that screw all the way because as soon as we did that, the whole thing just kind of went bonkers. There we go. All right. Just until that noise stops, that should be perfect. How's she sounding now, huh? Probably pretty good. It looks like the alternator is charging the battery, so that's nice. Let's see if she's still purring. Dude, I love that we get to use a controller now. That's so nice. Yep. It's sounding good, dude. Sounding real nice. Let's go ahead and kick her off. Dude, oh, God. The temps are just, just a little high here. We almost overheated this thing. That would have not been good considering I haven't saved in the longest time now. I kind of forgot we need oil. We need oil in the engine for starters, and then additional cooling would come from the radiator. So let's unscrew this cap first. We'll top off the coolant. There we go. Okay, the radiator was only like half full. So that's not too bad, but the fact that we didn't have a lick of engine oil in this thing is a slight concern. And it looks like both of our motor oil jugs are actually still pretty full. Let's put this radiator cap on. I'd hate to accidentally put oil in our radiator. I feel like that wouldn't be good for it. All right, now we get to top off the engine oil, which when I say top off, I mean just add oil to the engine in general. All right, I think this jug is probably empty. No, it's not. Okay, so we must have actually filled it up all the way then. We'll go ahead and screw that cap back on there. And then the last thing we should have to do here, I think, is just put the hood back on. Everything else should be back where it needs to be. Let's try the ignition. Dude, it starts right up. It never did that before. That must have been the issue then, is that that distributor. The timing just wasn't quite right on it. But this is great, dude. It solved, like, all of our issues. Oh my God. So from things that I've read, it seems like the standard cooling or the standard radiator for the vehicle actually does kind of suck a little bit. So another thing that we could probably do later on down the road is, of course, upgrade our cooling system. I think there should be some upgrades for that. We might be able to just get the same radiator, but I definitely like a more performance-oriented radiator. We didn't change anything with the brake lines or anything like that, so that should all still check out. Let's get this hood back on, dude. All right, just 4 bolts, and we are done, dude. After all that hard work, I kind of feel like we deserve to take this car out on a quick little, you know, just a little cruise, A. So let's see if old Toogii can back this thing out of here without stalling her. Oh yeah, hang on. We should probably do the handbrake. I feel like I set up a hotkey for this, did I not? Handbrake is joystick 1 button 0. What the heck does that mean? Oh, I think that's just A. Okay, let's try this. So I'm just gonna press A on my controller, and theoretically, we should see this handbrake move. Yeah, that ain't working. Now we're ready. Let's do it. Am I forgetting something? We didn't connect the gear linkage. Well, that explains that. Okay, give me a moment. We're about to die of hunger, and then we're gonna take this thing on a quick little rip. Maybe it's the clutch itself, size 6 over there. Let's try that. Gear linkage appears to be fully connected, so I'm not sure what the issue is. No, and that's fully seated as well. Oh, is it this one size 7 bolt? Probably. Probably. Dude, and like, why would this even affect anything? It's on the dang inspection cover. Now maybe we'll have a working transmission. Okay, clutch in. Reverse. Rev. Drop clutch. It is not doing anything now. Let's just maybe try to bleed the clutch. Let's unscrew this cap here. We'll get in the vehicle, sit pretty far back so we can still see those pedals. Okay, so I'm now depressing the clutch. You can see the clutch pedals going in. We're just gonna do this a handful of times here. Now we'll grab a thing of brake fluid, and let's see if we can't top this thing off. Maybe it's just a little low. Oh, am I about to fall asleep? I'm about to fall asleep. Uh-oh. Okay, not good. Not good. Hang on. Let's leave that there. Yeah, we gotta run inside like real quick because we're about to fall asleep standing straight up. So let's head into bed and we will start a new day. Kind of unfortunate. I hope it's still light out when we wake up. All right, Wednesday, early morning. Of course not. Of course it's not light out. That's too much to ask for. I guess, you know what? It is possible that we might have just lost reverse, but all the other gears still work. I haven't tried going forward yet, so let's try that quick. No. Okay, not the case. Does not seem to be the case. Handbrake is definitely down, so that can't be it either. Well, I officially can't figure out what the problem is, so I'm going to consult the MSCLoader, which conveniently has a sort of maintenance Satsuma type report that should tell us exactly what is wrong with this vehicle.
A few moments later.
Hey. Hi, welcome back to the video. After a very brief look through the Satsuma report, my final diagnosis on the matter is the vehicle was maybe just a little bugged, just a little wigged out. So we're gonna try this again. All I did is saved and exited the game and then relaunched. Also while checking out the Satsuma report, which shouldn't affect anything, just opening it, not making any changes. Let's try it this time, dude. Still nothing. What the heck is happening? What is happening? What about first? Nothing again. I have no words. I have no words. I think I'm gonna try to back the thing out just by pushing it, but we gotta move our Joe bro if we're gonna do that. So we'll place that over there. All right, wheel should be pretty well straight too, so I'm gonna just use J. And we'll try to push this thing out of here, dude. I'm hoping that it was just bugged. Maybe it's bugged in the location here. I'm just not really sure, you guys. Let's try this. Neutral, first. Drop clutch, nothing. Okay, reverse. Drop clutch, nothing. I'm gonna try this first, but I do think that the brakes might actually need bled as well. Nope. Yeah, dude. Okay, so my theory now, my final diagnosis on the matter is that we have to bleed the brakes because they're stuck and preventing us from moving. All right, now we're doing both brake and clutch. I did crack open one of the clutch lines, or the only clutch line as well, so hopefully that is getting bled. Oh yeah, you can even see a bit of the clutch fluid starting to leak out of here, so we're gonna screw this down nice and tight. Wait it. What? happened to... Where did this go? Ah, right. The drive gear has fallen out of the vehicle. Has this been the problem the whole time? I don't know. Most likely, yeah. Yeah, you know, come to think of it, I do think maybe the final gear was the problem. So, I'm so confident in this. We're gonna close up the hood. I realize I have to drink something as well, but this will be just a quick test. Starting her up. Okay, we're in neutral. Let's close the door. Here we go, clutch in. Reverse. Really? Really? Dude, I thought for sure that was it. I thought for sure that was it. I was so confident that I even closed the hood, but apparently that didn't do us a lick of good here. I do still have these caps taken up here for the brake and clutch. Here we go. We're filling something up. I don't know which one it is. Oh, is this empty now? Great. Great. We have one more thing of clutch and or brake fluid, so we better make this count, dude. That's all we got, dude. Oh, it works. It works. Hang on, let's try first. Oh, baby. Okay, brakes are working. Clutch is working. All right. We're golden. We're golden. All right. Now that it's finally up to operating temp, dude, it's time to take this thing for a little cruise. We're going to see if it feels any better than it did before. Having just replaced a couple of those other parts that we probably should have done from the get-go, but it's all good. You know what? A lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes have been made throughout this series so far, but I'm pretty determined to get fairly far into this thing, so hopefully you guys are down for that. Kind of feels like it's pulling to the right, actually, a little bit. We might have to get this thing realigned again, which really sucked, but that's okay. You know what? Just more money down the drain if we want to do this correctly, or we could do it again ourselves. I certainly don't want to do that, but it is the cheaper option. So with that, ladies and gents, I do think that's probably where we're going to wind things down at for today. Once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.